Hello everyone and welcome to the penultimate tournament centre of 2010. Rich and Brian bringing you all the number crunching you could possibly want. We've got stats coming out of our ears, but the ones you want, who made it in to the top 8. Start with number 1.
We talked about this from the moment we started talking about this tournament. Number 1 seed, Paulo Vitor Damodorosa. Unbelievable. This is his 7th top 8 in
31. 7 in 31.
Yeah, it's just unreal.
So that impacts the Player of the Year race, but we'll talk more about that in a minute. Let's have the number 2 seed, also 42 points. Now, you got to love this. Love Jansa, or as they say in Sweden, Lova Jansa. We don't know a lot about him. From Sweden, they've had a terrific run here. Not just the team, they've done fine, but Bertil Elfgren was in contention right to the end.
Great tradition by the Swedish team. Mm-hmm. They wear a shark hat.
Yep.
And by a shark hat, I mean a shark biting their head.
Obviously.
Like the yellow jersey in the Tour de France, right? It's the Swedish player that's in the lead. It was on Love's head for most of the day. Anton Janssen, ironically, would not wear it on day 1. When he was the leader, and
not a team player.
He feels perhaps karmically that came back to bite him on the other end.
Serve him right.
Right.
That's what we say. All right, so Janssen will tell you more about him tomorrow once we found out a bit more about him. Now, number 3, one of my favourite players because I love control, and who do we worship as control players? It's Guillaume Wafatapa of France. 6-0 on day 1 in standard with a control deck, and then got the job done in extended with, who knew, a control deck. So, and that's back-to-back Pro Tour top 8s for Guillaume.
Back-to-back top 8s for someone who was playing in PTQs to get back to the Pro Tour this year.
That's right. We go back 12 months. Pro Tour Rome, Worlds in Rome. Guillaume well out of contention. He falls off the automatic invite, and he says, it's all right. There's a PTQ in Toulouse next week. I said, that'll be sealed, Guillaume. You know, you don't get to take your many counter spells with you. He said, it will be fine. And it was, and he's had a terrific year, and very interesting to see what he does tomorrow. He had a bad matchup last time in Amsterdam, thought he couldn't win his quarterfinal. This time, we'll see. Number 4.
Just to point out one thing, top 8 locks up level 7 for him for next year.
Ooh.
And a win could lock up, or will lock up, level 8.
And that's, of course, the pinnacle of the game. Lots of levels rising through this top 8. With each round, some of these players are going level 4, level 5, level 6, maybe level 7 and 8. All right, number 4. Hang on, we've just done Guillaume from France. It's Guillaume from France. This one.
Guillaume Matignon is on the French national team and a longtime friend of Guillaume Wafatapa's. In fact, the two of them collaborated on Pierre Canali's Pro Tour Columbus winning deck back in 2005. They worked with Pierre to help him build the affinity deck that he used to win it. It was the first time we ever heard their names, but they're fast friends, and they're both in the top 8, sitting in the 3rd and 4th seeds.
And very interesting, of the first 4 names there, Paulo Vitor Damodorosa, Lova Jansa, Guillaume Wafatapa, Guillaume Matignon, 3 of the 4 are repeat top 8ers at the Pro Tour this year.
Yeah.
That's a remarkable achievement.
Yeah, it's remarkable. We always talk about the skill of the game and the players that can get back there time and time again. I mean, Paulo Vitor Damodorosa is clearly
among the greats.
A case study for the skill in Magic. And so are the other 2 Guillaumes that we just mentioned.
Yeah. So, into the second half of the top 8. Number 5, here we go. USA. It's Eric Froelich, and what a lovely guy.
Eric's fantastic. The last time Eric was in the top 8 of a Pro Tour, it was the early part of this decade. It was San Diego in 2002. He's got 6 GP top 8s in his career. He's got 1 this year. He made the top 8 at Nationals this year. He's been playing some great Magic. Got here with a celebrity invite. Got back onto the Pro Tour with a celebrity invite.
That's right.
By virtue of being the youngest player to win a World Series of Poker bracelet.
That's right. Next door neighbor of Dave Williams.
Has made the most of his invites. He doesn't need these invites next year. He does not need a celebrity invite. He's earned an invite. He brought his lunch bucket to work and worked through lunch and has gotten himself a full year of invites next season.
So congratulations to him. Congratulations also when you think Czech Republic, incidentally the team did very well after a poor start and clawed their way up, not quite into the top 2. But this is a Czech player you may not know too much about. This is Lukáš Jaklowski. And he's come along, and just like so many of the Czech players, around about 40 Pro Tour lifetime pro points, not made a big splash, top 16 at San Juan, just under the radar, but just being good.
Paced the field this entire weekend. He's just been at the top tables.
What is
in control through all three formats.
What is really interesting to me about him, we had Thomas Marr, we had Andrea Girola this year, and I kind of bracket in Lucas with this. A couple of times I've interviewed him this weekend and offered the leading question, so did you expect to be 5-1? Did you expect to be 10-2? And, generally people say, of course I hoped, or that would have been nice, but Lucas is, yeah, well, I kind of thought standard was either 6-0 or 5-1, and then, well, I've drafted a lot, and I was thinking that probably 5-1 was about right. I mean, you can't always go 6-0, so 5-1's about right there, and then, I knew that extended was going to be good, so, yeah, I've won this round now, I think I ID, and that'll be top 8, so, yeah, that'll be good.
And not false bravado, but just a quiet confidence.
Absolutely, yeah, he's put in the work, he's seen the rewards. Oh, magic, game of skill.
Yeah,
who knew?
Absolutely.
All right, who's number 7?
Christopher Wolf from Austria. Fantastic story. This is someone, he's sort of the king of the tiebreakers in his home country. He's just missed this, make the national team on breakers, missed the top 8 on breakers. He was really worried he was going to miss this top 8 on breakers. He drew in the last round. He really needed a couple of things to fall his way, and fall they did. And finally, he just let out, you could hear this exhalation of breath as the top 8 was announced, and he was in the top 8. Really nice young guy, 19 years old. Plays a lot of Magic and doing very well.
Yes, and that leaves a terrific story, which obviously I'm. Thank you so much.
Have I told you what a gentleman you are?
You haven't, but I'm glad you've done that on camera. You're going to have to do it in the booth tomorrow live as well, I'm afraid. We had a little discussion at GP Toronto, and I said honestly, I think the Great Britain team this year are very, very good. They're one of the best we've ever had. And I think they just might, with the prevailing wind, lots of things going their way, they might just sneak ahead of Team USA. And it's been neck and neck. It's been actually a terrific race as a little kind of nudge. We've never been more than a few places apart. As it happens, the UK team have indeed just nudged out the USA. We're both in and around the top 10 somewhere. But the guy I'm going to tell you about now finished 8th. He began the day in 71st place. He was the last man in the field who could make top 8. And in extended with fairies, 102, 03, 04, 05, 06.
Hit a win out.
Absolutely. And even then, if IDs had gone differently, he'd have been 9th. But as it is, one more match decided to play. There was a winner there. And as a result, Jonathan Randall of England is your number 8 seed going into World Championship Day on Sunday.
And what a nice guy. I had a chance to talk to him a lot.
Yeah.
I feel comfortable calling him Jono.
Indeed, absolutely.
And kudos to him. It was great. And congratulations to the UK team on beating the US team.
Thank you. Yes. Very exciting. So, that's the top 8. Next, 2 teams. Now, through most of the week, Poland had been dominating. They fell away on the final day. Extended found them out. But winning the team competition, heading the Swiss, is the Slovak Republic. Didn't see that coming, gotta be honest.
No, they just steadily inched their way up. Robert Jurkovic, we met him last year at the Magic Online Championship Series.
Right. Yep.
Has a couple of top 32 finishes along the way.
Even Flock is a multiple national champion. And then Patrick Surab, he's the guy we didn't know much about, but he managed to go 10-8. And if you get a positive record at Worlds, that contributes massively to the team. Now their opponents, here they are again. 123 points. It's Team Australia. Fantastic stuff. Jeremy Neiman, Ian Wood, and the champion, Adam Whitten. Now,
Adam finished 9th place in this event. He lost to Louis Yance in the last round to kind of get the cruel cut to 9th place. But that 9th place finish and those extra points.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair to say that when you sit down the 6 members of the top 2 teams and the 8 members of the top 8, you expect 14 happy people. Adam Whitten, for someone who was 1 game away from being a world champion, was a little bit upset.
Yeah.
And you can't blame him because the poor guy, 39 points going into the last round, couldn't get the ID.
And it's conceivable that they could have drawn.
That is what would have put Randall out.
Right.
As it happened. But They could not know that. The math is really, really tough at the sharp end. So, Czech Republic will play Australia in the Team Championship final. The top 8 we now know. Let's move on to Player of the Year. If you've been here, you know that Brad Nelson is gone, well and truly. So, it looks like this. Here we go. I'm actually going to read this out to make sure we get this right. Just nod at each step of the way.
Yes.
You ready? Step 1. Paulovita Dama de Rosa, if he wins the World Championship, will be Player of the Year. Check.
Check.
Paulovita Dama de Rosa, if he finishes second, will be Player of the Year. Check.
Check.
If Guillaume Matignon wins the World Championship and does not play Paulovita Dama de Rosa in the final,
Which he cannot.
because of the brackets.
Because they meet in the semifinals.
Okay. So if Guillaume Matignon wins Worlds, he will tie with Brad Nelson for Player of the Year. Check.
Check.
What happens
I've been
then?
waiting for the tie for so long.
You had hair when you started wishing for a tie, right?
I did.
So,
I did.
So what happens?
In the event of a tie, the 2 first place finishers in the Player of the Year race will play out a final match in standard at the next Pro Tour of the following season. So in Paris, unclear if it happens before round 1 or at the end of day 1, they choose a weapon and they duel to the death for the Player of the Year title in Paris.
Box office.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, last thing. Rookie of the Year. Andrea Girola in the box seat, 26 points. But, one last check. If Love Jansa reaches the final of the World Championship, he will become Rookie of the Year. Check.
Check.
Check your watches. The final day of Worlds is coming right round the corner. Whether it's the middle of your night, the middle of your day, the middle of your afternoon, the middle of your evening, join us live, Brian and Rich, for history in the making. We have 8 quarterfinalists. We have 2 team finalists. We have 2 contenders for Rookie of the Year. We have 3 contenders for Player of the Year. And there's a Magic Online Championship Series. We don't even know the finalists for that yet. Bedtime. We will see you tomorrow. Don't you dare go away. For Brian David Marshall, I'm your host Richard Hagon, saying bye.